What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Callum Smith, Artur Beterviev. Get this, Callum Smith states, Artur Beterviev, he can be hurt. Callum Smith believes he's got the power to hurt the IBF, the WBC, and the WBO light heavyweight champion Artur Beterviev to dethrone him when they meet up in August in Quebec. The exact date and venue have yet to be decided, but the month and the locations have been picked out. Callum Smith, which is 29-1-21, thinks that the 38-year-old Beterviev, which is 19-0 with 19 KOs, has aged enough where he can be beat. Calum says that he wants to capture Beterviev's 3 titles and then bring them back home to Liverpool to defend them in front of his fans. The 33-year-old Smith seems to have all mapped out in his head already how it's going to play against Beterviev. Interesting, he didn't say anything about giving Beterviev a rematch. So you have to assume that he'll opt for a soft defense to ensure that he doesn't lose the belt straight away in front of his own fans. He said, "I don't got no problems traveling. It would obviously be nicer to get the fight, but to gain control over it and wait to be given a date and wait to be given a venue, which is kind of out of my plans." Said Callum Smith about his August title shot against Beterviev. He said, "It's a fight I've wanted and a fight that I believe I can win. The chance to win 3 world titles in one evening is exciting to me. So regardless of where it is and when it is, it's a fight that I'm looking forward to. He's a very good fighter. I got a lot of respect for him. He's a great champion, but he's 38 years of age and it isn't the hardest to hit. Obviously, he hits hard himself, but he is there to be hit and he can be hurt. I'm confident in my own abilities. I have a world championship pedigree and was the best at 168. I believe I'm better up at 175 and under my new training team." Let me counterpunch. Callum Smith and Artur Beterviev is a good fight because you don't know the outcome anyway. I always thought Callum Smith shouldn't be at 168. He's too tall. Just like I feel the same about David Benavidez. Those guys with that type of height, they can grow, okay? They need to be a little thicker, okay, a little bigger, and I think that makes them a little stronger or a lot stronger, right? And I believe that, you know, he can hurt Beterviev. If Anthony Yard can hurt Beterviev, well, why couldn't Callum Smith with that knockout power he has? Because if he's something at 168, and you know he is, with 29-21, yeah, he's a beast, okay? And I think he can. The only problem is he's a long-range fighter, but those hooks are massive. He almost decapitated his last opponent, and it was very impressive, and he got him out of there. So, yes, he has power, you know? And the only thing I don't like, though, is the waiting game strategy. Oh, he's 38, and I think he's not as good, and I think now I could knock him out. You know what I mean? And I know you can't do anything about age, but, you know, and I know he's just adding all the factors, and age is a factor, but, you know, I never really liked the idea of, oh, he's old. That's because he, you know, I think he's, you know, more vulnerable now. That's a good way to get your head knocked off, simply because you think someone is 38 years of age, and because normally a 38-year-old, depending on where he's from or genetics and all that stuff, is not, and it's worse wear and tear, okay? But in actuality, Artur Beterbiev is a guy that I think he lives right, he eats right, he prays right, and I think that is a factor that people don't put into the factor, okay? They don't add that to the equation. Look at Bernard Hopkins, you know, eats right, eats clean, sleeps right, you know, puts a prayer behind it, and he's ready to go, you know? So he's centered. And he fought for a very long time, you know, before getting slapped out of the ring from Joe Smith, you know, but look how old he was. He was way in his 50s at that time. So, you know, using him as a reference, Bernard Hopkins, I think Artur Beterviev can fight for the next 5 years effectively. Now, will he trickle down from that? Yeah, he will. But I don't think he's time or he's chiseled away to the point that he's not still very, very dangerous. In fact, Artur Beterviev, he doesn't have many. This is his night. That would be his 20th professional fight. So, yeah, I don't think that he's he's taken some punishment, but that just shows you how tough he really is and how durable he is. But yes, he can be hurt. Okay, so don't get it twisted. So I do agree with Callum Smith. You guys tell me what you think of Callum Smith believing he'll be stronger at 175, and he believes that he can hurt Artur Beterviev. Mind you, he didn't say he can knock him out. He said he can hurt him, and if he can hurt him, he can, do other things. But anyway, of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.